Yeah, thank you for inviting me today. My name is John Tan. I'm part of the student government. I'm also part of the IMD program. I study there. I'm actually in the class. So I'm skipping. So I just want to kind of give you an overview of what student government is and some of the projects that we do and why it's important for you to care. And so I'll just get started. We are called ASUWB, which stands for Associated Students of the University of Washington Buffalo. That's a really long name, so we just call ourselves ASUWB. We get our power from the Board of Regents, who are the board of UW institution as a whole. And these are the people that really have big influence over your experience and also how UW Buffalo functions. And so what we do is extremely important, and we work with our counterparts from faculty and staff to provide you with the best experience, the best services, and the best resources possible for you to graduate with amazing college degrees and experience. Some of the programs that we do currently are the Hollywood Husky. This is the official UW Buffalo mascot. So we have Holly come out to events and kind of get excited with everyone and just have make sure that you have a good time. We also advocated for the sports field. I don't know if you've been to the sports field, but that was not existent 10 years ago. And so through advocacy and just constant reminders to the admin, and we were able to bring that to fruition, as well as the art building that you may have been in, and also recently the Diversity Center. A lot of students came out a couple years ago and said, hey, we want student space. We need a place that could celebrate diversity. As you all may know, UW Buffalo is one of the most diverse campuses in the West Coast. And so we want to really celebrate that even diversity. This is our team. We have over here, that's me. Oh, yeah, that's me right there. I lead the outreach and marketing team, and so we outreach to students and try to get engagement just to get your feedback. What we really strive for is just constant engagement with students. We want to listen to what you want out of this campus and some of the experiences that you strive for, so that we can bring it up to admin and faculty and say, hey, like, this is what the students are saying. How can we make this possible? So that's some of our goals, is just constant engagement. And we're also involved in many different clubs, and we have like a lot of us that are involved outside of the ASUWB. There's also like FASA, I don't know if you've heard, but it's the Filipino American Student Association. We're a part of the Debate Society, BSU, which is Black Student Union, MSA, Muslim Student Association, Blockchain Society, and all these crazy things that we are part of. So going on to a little bit about the structure, we have 5 departments. We have the Department of Outreach and Marketing, which I lead, and also the Internal Affairs, which is overviewing programs like Hollywood Husky, hiring, and also UW Leaders. UW Leaders is a program, it's a volunteer program that anyone can get involved in. Someone who is interested in becoming part of ASUWB or becoming more involved, you can volunteer through this program to sit on committees where you get to work with faculty and admin to bring change. You can also advocate for what you want with the students want. We have Department of Student Advocacy. This is a little bit more into learning about your rights and learning about like your advocacy and just explaining to the admin about like what you truly want. Government relations. This is a pretty big part of student government, which is we go down to Olympia every year to lobby with the legislature. One of the things that we're asking right now is a $35 million STEM building across from their Discovery Hall. And so that we have to make sure we get the funding from the state so that we can build it. Department of Community Relations, this is much more in the Buffalo area, just getting student discounts. So Husky Sports, we also have charging stations that we're putting out so that students can benefit from the tuition and the student fees that you pay. And we also have some staff members that overview our budget. Yeah, so some of these things are, again, like programs that we do. In February 11th, we're going down to Olympia as the UW institution, along with UW Seattle and UW Tacoma. We're going to be going down there, our mascot is going to be down there as well, and we're going to go and say like, hey, like as UW students, like we want to make sure that the state funding is properly if you all know this, but UW in Washington, we don't get state allocations based on our full-time student count. So we actually just get a lump sum of money, and they gave it to the UW Seattle, which then distributes to UW Bothell and UW Tacoma. And so we want to make sure that, hey, like when we get state allocation, that we get enough for UW Bothell as well. And we also use that money to pay our faculty, and our faculty is like such a big part of our education. We also have the SAFE. I don't know, do any of you want to travel to any like conferences like while you're in college? No? Okay. Yes, I see you back there. Thank you so much for raising your hand, because we have this thing called SAFE program. This is Student Academic Enhancement Fund. So we use this fund to essentially like fund students to go to different conferences across the US and also internationally. And you can apply like, I think 45 days in advance so that you can go and get funded for these. This is a great opportunity if you want to travel or just learn more or develop your professional skills. Yeah. So again, these are some of the things that we've done last quarter. We have on the far left, we have the HARC. HARC was recently built in the HARC and ARC. HARC is a health and wellness resource center, and so this is where you can come and get benefits on your like, health and learn more about your health resources. We also held an event last quarter called Who Am I event. This was a collaboration with the Diversity Center. We brought some really big speakers. We brought the head of university recruiting for Microsoft, and also like members from T-Mobile, Kaiser, like hospital manager, and like alumni who were like super excited to come back to the Bothell and kind of connect with you all and hopefully like help you find the path to your career. Also, we have a lot of collaboration events with the administration. In the far bottom right picture, we have Vice Chancellor Ruth Johnson. She's really great. She wants to connect with students and learn more about what you're going through. Yeah, and just as a reminder, we have Huskies on the Hill coming up in President's Day of Action in February. We have like main items for our lobbying agenda, and so we want to make sure we get enough students to go down there and kind of share your stories. These legislators don't care about administration going down there and saying, hey, like give me money, like, you know, they don't care about that. They care about student stories and how it's going to impact you. So when we ask for $35 million, like they want to hear that it's going to change your life. And so if any student is willing to go down there for us, that's awesome. Yeah, and so that was kind of our spiel. We also have social media. We post there almost every day. So if you want to follow us, it's right here. And also you can email us at ASUWB@UW. Yes. Any questions? Anyone interested in like joining ASUWB or like something like getting more involved on campus? Just so you know, ASUWB is a little bit different than your high school ASB. This is a legitimate job. You get paid on campus, and you work with some of the craziest people. And so, like when our president Leah Shin, she's actually she's been doing ASUWB for like 4 years now, and then she is like a stellar student, and she got so many opportunities to ASUWB, and this is a great opportunity for you to develop your professional skills and personal skills. And if you want to get connected to some of the like more people who have influence over this community, this is a great opportunity. And there's Marisha in the back, everyone. She's our director of student advocacy, so she's coming in just so that she can support.
Hi everyone. Sorry I'm late.
Yeah, we just went over the PowerPoint, but you want to share a little bit about your student advocacy?
Yeah, so parking is an issue on campus. It has been for a long time. Food kind of sucks, we know, we try. But like some stuff that we're working on is like specifically the team that I work with is health and safety. So like starting a health and wellness resource center on campus, so we have access to healthcare on campus, which is really new this year. So that's super awesome, and we have a lot of funding for that we got for 1 year only. So we're trying to sustain that. That's one of the projects. And I thought it would be campus safety, so working on how we can prevent sexual assault. Luckily, that
us to get what we want unless we are out there and speaking for everyone here. And so,
So yeah, if you ever need something, we're out there so that we can advocate for you. So it's not about like what we think is best for school. We actually go out and we talk to students, which is you, all of you, and seeing what you want, and then we take measures to see how that could happen. So we kind of are like the middlemen between students and administration. So if we need more money, we go out and we ask for it. If we need resources for like better career services, we go and we go out of our way to see how we can support students. So diversity, we had a diversity grant that was $5,000 donated by a regent so that we could support students from diverse backgrounds finding their right path, or like finding the career, because when you're in college you want to think about where your path is. And so we arranged a panel that was outside of career services but working with career services so that students can see like different industries. And we're working on a LinkedIn workshop this quarter. So just some stuff that we work on.
yeah, so we have all these pretty cool projects, and so yeah.
Any questions? I talked a lot. How about you?
You're here with a lot of your constituents, and whether or not they yet imagine themselves being in officer roles or active roles like you have, what can they do to be effective constituents?
Yes.
Good partners to you in forwarding the university's mission.
So that's a really great question, and the answer I have for you all is just so that you all know is just speak up. And so have a voice. If you have any opinions, it doesn't matter whether you think you're wrong or if it's just like you think it's just you. If you tell us, and if 5 other people will say the same thing, it becomes a pattern and it becomes something that we have we take into consideration. However, if you just talk amongst yourself and say like, oh, like parking sucks, food sucks, everything is so expensive, and we don't hear about it, like we won't be able to change it, you know. And only at that point we can only make assumptions. And so we really want students to just email us or just say hello, and we're also allowing student space to connect as well.
Yeah, so office hours are a really great way to meet us and come and talk to us in person. Even if you don't have something specific you want to talk to us about, just coming to say hi, and then that's a good way for like just talking. And if I find out that you're interested in something and I know about something that's happening, it's a really great resource for you. Like we are pretty involved on campus, so we know like a lot that's happening, so it'll be really great for you. But more importantly, it's great for us to like get to know you a little bit better.
Yeah. And when I was a first year, like I did not get involved. I hated this campus, like I hated everything. But then I just got started to connect with people like Raisha, who was like a stellar student, and you know, like I got inspired to get involved, and I just kind of started to speak up more, and that really changed my life, and that changed my experience at UW. And so just, you know, check it out and see how it's going to affect you, and if you don't like it, you can just go back to not being involved. But like, there's no hurt in trying, because you're here for 4 years or 4 or 5 years, and you really want to get the most out of it you can. You know, you pay a lot of money for tuition and student fees.
Did you talk about UW leaders?
Yeah, we went over the UW Leaders. It's a volunteer program that anyone can join, and we're so interested in having more first years. We also have first years in there right now who are just doing a stellar job, going back to Olympia, being part of all these different committees, and they do a really great job.
Yeah, so going down to Olympia, John just went like last Monday, and so like ASUWB will cover the cost of travel, so you just come show up on campus, and then we'll drive you down to Olympia so you can lobby and like meet your representatives, and then like we'll bring you back too. So it's a pretty cool experience. I liked it.
Free road trip. Yeah. Some stellar music playlists.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And then if you're like more interested in just getting involved in like more committees specifically, just staying on campus but knowing more about what happens on campus. So John talked about UW leaders, and then I'm just plugging my team a little bit. I'm actually looking for a representative who wants to sit on campus safety committee, just to bring your perspective. You don't have to like know it, like you don't have to be super involved in campus or not. Just bring your perspective to the officers on campus so that they know what students think about campus safety. So if you're interested, reach out to John or myself or our email or literally any social media. We check it all. So yeah.
John talked a little bit about how he got involved. Would you share a little bit of your own story of how you found your way into ASUWB?
Yeah, so I knew I wanted to do leadership, like right. So for me, I like right off the bat, I knew I wanted to do leadership. So when I came here as a freshman, they had freshman senators. They don't do senators anymore, but they had senators, and so I was like, oh my gosh, school pride, yes, I got that. run, but because I applied for that position late, I had to run it as a write-in, so I didn't make it, unfortunately. So then the next year, I got involved with another program, which is not here anymore either, like giving away my age. So that one was like Business and Organization Leadership Development Program. I really liked that program because I was able to develop skills that are like real world applicable and like how I would present myself in industry. And it just taught me some professionalism, and I liked that, so I wanted to continue that a little bit further. So when I got involved, I ran as for junior senator last year, and then I got elected. So in that capacity, I was interested in professional development and how we can support that. And so this year, that's the thing I work on a lot. Like I work on health and safety, but I also work on professional development because I think when you come to college, you want to make sure you're ready for that next step, and I want to help everyone get prepared for that. Any like just for ballpark, like do you know what kind of industries you're interested in, or like what kind of careers you want to go into? I'm gonna cold call if you don't raise your hand.
Yeah, just shout it out.
All right, how many of you are computer science majors? How many of you are law, economics, public policy?
Business, any business in here?
We have a lot of pre-majors.
Okay. Oh, that's that's
So you
pretty
might
cool.
want to, if you have kind of advice that you would give yourself now that you're not a first-year student anymore, what do you wish you had taken advantage of, tried, thought about?
First of all, I think IMD is a great program. Mauritius is also
Yeah, we're
IMD.
focusing there.
And the president is also IMD, so we're just kind of shamelessly plugging.
Yeah.
And it's great. But you know, like if you don't know, some of the best people to talk to are your professors and also the advisors.
And students in the major.
Yeah, and students in the major, and like, you know, they're gonna give you the best 360 look on what the major is like and what your career opportunities are from the majors. Yeah.
Yeah, my advice is pretty similar along those lines. Where like I get to college, I was dead set on computer science, and that's why I chose to come to this campus. Because like I'm gonna be computer science, I'm gonna make money, I'm gonna be set for life. But then I realized that I have more passions that align more with design, and so I started exploring that, which meant. But then I was still like I didn't want to do IMD because I wanted like computer, like I wanted a bachelor of science, because I thought that was gonna make a difference. I hear it doesn't. I really can't say I'm still in college, but I'm actually gonna be doing an extra year because I was I knew what I wanted to do, but I wasn't ready to take those steps. And so I was like taking all these like more for the hard sciences classes, but what I really liked and what I want to do after I graduate is more product design. So I knew what I wanted to do, but I was thinking like I thought I had a plan of how to get there, and that doesn't mean that that plan was like the best way for me to learn. And now because I focus more on like learning that concept and like the skills that I really need, and like talking to people in industry, so I go to career fairs and I talk to people and see like what kind of skills that they're looking for, and then took my classes tailored to that. That helped me. There's actually a diversity career fair tomorrow at the Seattle campus in the hub. So there's going to come like companies like Google if you're interested in that, and companies like maybe Redfin. It's going to be like 100 companies. So if you're interested in seeing what you want to do but you don't know what that is, it's really helpful to go talk to those companies. And then just check the career services newsletters that come out in your emails, because those also give you a lot of like career advice and like connections, like LinkedIn workshops and stuff like that.
Yeah, and if you also need like any advice, you can feel free to reach out to us like personally, and I'll write my phone number down, but just don't put me on spam. Yeah, just like feel free to reach out to us and ask us any questions. We've been here for 4 years, a long time, so we know the ins and outs.
Do you have any questions? You guys are really quiet.
We have until 12:15, so we can stay here, kick us out, you can sing a song.
He's gonna say I'm not.
We recognize you for your commitment and your work of representing.
Oh, thank you.
I'm sorry, so you two are already doing your majors, I assume?
Yeah.
I gotta ask, what are diversity courses? Because I've seen them on some of my prerequisite classes, and I'm just scratching my head trying to figure out what they are or what I'm supposed to do with them.
So are you talking about like diversity credits that you need to graduate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the school provides you with like a sheet about like, you need like 5 diversity credits or like 13 or 15 like natural world, things like that. Diversity credit revolves around like diversity, inclusion, kind of like very meta, but it's just what what it did for me was that it kind of expanded like what my perspective was, and also provided me with like new opportunities and like how I think about like design or think about business, think of some of the things that like I already was aware of. And so I think it's actually a really great opportunity for you to just get different perspectives from these students that come here.
So UW actually prides itself on being like a very interdisciplinary campus. So what that means is that like if you're like let's say you're a law economics public policy major, you're not just taking law economics public policy classes. You're like we want to make sure the university wants to make sure that you're exploring other facets of education and industry and getting a more well-rounded approach. And so what the diversity credit is, it's not so much like within a specific major, but it's a way of thinking or like a way of expanding your horizons. Is the meta way of saying it. So for my diversity credit, I took a class. I was very like STEM, like all my classes are STEM. But for my diversity credit, I took a class on like being a leader. And so it's like a leadership course where we're learning about like emotional intelligence and what you value in leadership roles and like who you look up to as a leader and why. So it was a 3-credit class or 2-credit class offered on a Saturday morning. So that's what I took. But it's just another way of thinking to make sure you're like getting another perspective. If you are really involved on campus or like you're really into something, like maybe it's like Latinx club, you could even talk to your advisors to see if you can waive that diversity credit because you commit so many hours to this club. And that's something that's, I can't like confirm if that happens or not, but it's worth talking about.
Any other advice that we can give you?
Or like, is there anything specific that like made you want to choose UW that like we could talk more about?
No, just talk.
It's the only college that accepted me.
No, it's
Yeah.
actually
Every other one rejected me, even Seattle.
Really?
Will you guys recommend putting on your IMD for them?
Oh, okay. Anything that you work on and that you're proud of. You can also put a lot of things that you're not proud of and just explain like what you could do to be better, right? Because when they look at IMD, they look at like a couple different things. They look at your grade. It's just like that was a great grade. So they also look at your portfolio and like what you put on there, and they look at your personal statement. And the personal statement, you can explain like what you're really passionate about or what you really like about some of like social impact that you can make. It's very interdisciplinary and also STEM. And so like in our classes, we're making augmented reality app, but it's like around like social impact. So like it's really cool projects that we're doing.
Yeah, so before you apply, you're not expected to have all like the cool project, like the cool skills, whatever. But if you do projects to show that you're interested in that, that helps. Like interested in that field, that helps. Or like if you've done some classwork that you really like and you want to show how you thought through those processes, that's really awesome too, because it's teaching you how to think about process and explain why you made a decision, and you're just thinking critically about your own perspective. I think that's really helpful because then you know, like whoever's looking at your portfolio, or if it's a resume, or if it's cover letter, same thing. You're showing how you think so that whoever's interviewing you or like looking into you as a candidate can see if you're a good fit for the program or the team or whatever, and see if you could thrive in that environment. So when you're going to an interview, for example, you're not just learning. They're not just learning about you. You're also learning about the company. You're going both ways. Same thing. Yeah.
How much time do you guys commit to ASUWB, or how many times per week do you guys?
Good question.
Officially, the two of us work 19.5 hours a week. Like that's how much we're paid for.
Yeah. It's a stipend, so it's kind of like salary. We get paid for 19.5 hours, but then that's like what we're like standard is. Sometimes we work over that. So it's like, it really depends on the workload, and they're very like lenient depending on your class schedule or your class load.
I think we end up working a little bit more just because our team is so passionate about what we do. Like we actually genuinely love going to work and like working on projects. So I think it helps to like what you're doing. But we're not the only job on campus. There's career services, there's